The accursed prince, the shame of Elbaph, has been better than advertised. He is aura personified. Now that might be glazing, alright? Might be glazing, but I love his design, the aura that he's given off, his ideals, just everything about Loki. Some of it I expected, some of it is unexpected. It's honestly too early to tell, but the pace that he's going, Loki, his trajectory, he could be an excellent character, and I'd say probably in the top 10 of a lot of people's most popular and favorite One Piece character, whether that be because he's a hero, a villain, an anti-hero, whatever role he's meant to be. Now obviously this is an overreaction. We've only been introduced to him for about 12 or so chapters, at least in terms of like seeing who he actually is and what he actually stands for. But since One Piece is on break this week, we've gotten an okay sample size of Loki while he was chained up, and I want to talk about his character before he is truly free, what I liked about him, and the potential that he has for the rest of the arc. I was really excited to meet Loki, especially because of how highly he was talked about during Whole Cake Island. The initial thoughts that I had on him based off of these small statements from Lola was that he was a certified lover boy, that he wasn't violent, he was a great leader, he was loved by all, kind-hearted. Yeah, that couldn't have been any further from the truth. Well, allegedly. Loki's physical appearance was revealed in chapter 1130. Before that, the only thing that we saw about him was a silhouette, and it honestly looked nothing like Loki, because Loki, that giant, he is a big dude, and not just because he's a giant, he towers over the other giants. No, Loki, he's special because he has ancient giant blood, making him comparable to the size of ores, which is also why Loki, he's super duper strong, and I'll address that a little bit later in the video. He's got fire tattoos, pinkish purple hair. It reminds me of another character that is a lot of our fan favorite. Off rip, almost all of the giants and just everyone, whenever they talk about Loki, they talk about how he is pure evil, how he killed his father, King Harald, to take a legendary devil fruit that is usually passed down through the royal line. He's called a monster, as seen with the destruction during the battle between Harald and Loki. It caused to the castle, killing over 100 giant warriors, and the battle was so bloody that it was agreed that the castle should be sealed. Loki's cunning, cruel, vicious, backstabbing, and he will definitely turn against his friends since he's the enemy of the world. They even talked about that if Loki is freed, it could bring the end to the world. So someone of that caliber, the way that they're gassing him up, he's gotta be a bad guy, right? Well, that might not necessarily be the case, simply because I have never seen such forced hatred for someone that we know nothing about. Just how much they're hating on Loki and how much they're praising King Harold, it just seemed way too suspicious to me, especially because Summers talked about the Holy Knights visiting Harold's grave. That don't seem suspicious. Also, while Loki was chained up, he was talking to someone and they mentioned how Loki hides his kindness. Another reason why I don't think that Loki is a bad person or the person that everyone is trying to force him to be. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. Loki, he is definitely a problem. That special 2.7 billion berry bounty, oh, he didn't get that for nothing. I'm starting to look at him a lot different, and he might be a mini Kaido. Like a little rant, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think that durability and endurance are a little bit overrated when people look at different aspects of what makes a character strong. I just think that there are way too many instances when characters survive stuff that they shouldn't. Maybe I'll make a video about that that in the future. I don't want to go into it in this video because that opens up a can of worms, but I do want to talk about Loki's endurance and durability because it's high, maybe not on the level of Kaido's, but it's up there for sure. And what makes me say this is his statement after all the torture that he went through. He got beaten up by Gunko while chained up and attacked by a Shamrock Sword Cerberus. When Zoro and Luffy pulled up, it looked like a freaking murder scene and they thought that he was unconscious. And after he picked up Ragnar, he said one of the hardest lines I've ever heard, talking about, if you want to save Elbaph, undo the final cuff and you'll see soon if I'm really helpless or not in this condition. Meaning that Loki, even though he's this beat up, he's still got a lot left in the tank, and someone that talks like that, they are really dangerous. He has future sight, an unknown legendary devil fruit, and whenever that's revealed, oh, it's definitely going to be broken. And since he has future sight, he definitely has regular armament and probably even have Conquerors and Conqueror's coding if Shanks was the one to take him down. On top of that, Ragnar, it's just like Thor's hammer Mjolnir, or at least the small sample size that we've seen, it appears that way. And so when we finally see Loki in action, I'm going to have to really debate where I'm going to put him strength wise, because I think he has potential to be top 5. So what's next for Loki? I think that he is definitely going to clash with Luffy. I think that Zoro and Sanji, they're up in the air. I don't think that it's going to be an all-out battle, but Oda is definitely going to tease his strength. And although I'm a huge Zoro fan and I would love for him to test his strength against Loki, I think that Luffy is the right person to do so, especially because of his devil fruit. It's the best in this current, like the people that are in the area, to be able to combat Loki. Gotta see him spin the block on Gunko and Shamrock because they did him dirty, and I know that Shamrock left. He'll be back soon, at least. Well, I hope he does. Also, I can't wait to finally see whether or not Loki is a good or bad guy or somewhere in the middle. I'm leaning more towards Loki's frame than that he's a good guy because of, like I said, what Summer said regarding Harold, as well as Luffy, his reaction to Loki. Luffy, he's typically a good judge of character even when everyone else thinks that a person is the bad guy, at least on the surface. Luffy tends to notice whether or not they're actually good people. For example, Nico, Robin, or technically you could say someone like Smoker, and I guess that's a little bit of a gray area because technically Smoker's not a bad guy, he's a Marine, and because he's an antagonist it makes him appear like a bad guy. But in terms of like understanding that the Straw Hats are actually good people, Smoker, looking at him that way, he's not a bad guy compared to other Marines. That was like an abridged explanation, but y'all get what I mean. I think that Oda has done a fantastic job of handling Loki's character during this arc, whether he ends up being a good guy, a bad guy, whether he's somewhere in the middle. He's handled it well, and I cannot wait to see where he's going to end up. And I don't think, regardless of whether or not the path that he ends up going down, that fans are going to be disappointed. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know how you guys feel about Loki in the comment section below, and who you're excited and want to see Loki fight. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never saw a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.